This trip up here has a deep personal meaning to me, but you're gonna have to wait around till near the end of the video to find out why. We'll sit down, have a little chat about why this might be the last time I'm out at this cabin. Welcome everyone. As you can see, I'm up here at my remote cabin. If you haven't seen the videos in the past of the remote cabin, I do have a playlist that is just for remote cabin videos, so definitely check that out. This trip up here has a deep personal meaning to me, but you're gonna have to wait around till near the end of the video to find out why. Let's go and check out the strawberries right now. There was a whole bunch of strawberries here last time I was up about 3 weeks ago. I don't see any. There's a few here. They're small. Let's eat one of these, just see if it tastes good or not. Actually, not too bad, even being somewhat red. Pretty tasty. Here's another one. I'm a little disappointed. There were a whole bunch of nice sized red strawberries here last time I was up. They're all gone. Although my neighbor up here might have came over and picked some. He has little kids and sometimes we'll bring them over. I don't know. If they did, great for them. I love this property so much. I love being up here. It is so peaceful, quiet most of the time. Rarely do you hear airplanes in the sky, and you hear a little bit of like snow machines in the wintertime and four-wheelers, things like that, but it's very minimal. You often hear birds up here, things like that. I just can't tell you how much I love this property. Tomorrow, I think I'm gonna build a little bonfire and burn up some of this wood. But right now, it's becoming the evening time, so I'm gonna go in, watch a little TV, and go to bed. I'll catch you guys in the morning. It's Saturday about 12:30, 1 o'clock. I was really tired, so I just slept in way too late actually today. And I had planned on doing a lot of things and also staying until tomorrow afternoon sometime, but plans have changed. It's supposed to just rain all day tomorrow, and I didn't bring any rain gear, so I'm going to pack up and head out later on today, so let's get busy. After I'm done packing up, we'll sit down, have a little chat about why this might be the last time I'm out at this cabin. The sleeping loft is done. I wanted to take the futon mattress. I really like that mattress, so I'm going to take it with me. I'm gonna leave this comforter, and I plan on leaving the bed sheets, but I need to take them and wash them. So if I make it back out here, I'll bring those bed sheets back out, stick them up here, and leave them for the next people. Let's have a little talk about this remote cabin I have here in Alaska. I moved to Alaska in 2011 and have been here since. And right away I knew I wanted a remote property somewhere, like a weekend getaway, someplace I can get out of the city. Since I was living in Anchorage, I wanted someplace I could get away to out in the country. Also a place where I can go to in the wintertime when I want to go out snow machining or snowmobiling and not have to drive a couple hours back to Anchorage after I was done riding all day. Because after riding all day, you're tired, you're hungry, things like that. I wanted someplace out in remote Alaska where I could just stay and hang out for the night, get up the next morning, rested, and then drive back. So in 2013, the state of Alaska put this property, this original 5 acres, up for sale, well, up for auction. And I came out to this area, Petersville, and kind of looked at it from the road, but then I actually stepped foot on the property, and also looked at it from like aerial maps on like Google Maps and things like that. And I went ahead and put a bid in on it, and luckily I was the first one to put a bid in on it, and I got the property. So I took ownership of this property. I believe, actually it went up for sale, I believe in 2012, and I took ownership of it in 2013, in January of 2013. And there was nothing here. It was just total wilderness, totally overgrown with alders, things like that. So over the next year or two, I brought out a bunch of lumber. I started clearing out the alders and things like that. And then if you look back to my very first video, introduction to an off-grid cabin or something like that, you can see I had a bulldozer. There was a guy out here in the area with a bulldozer doing work, and I paid him to clear this about 1/3 of an acre, push all the alders down. It was just all dirt here. Took a couple years for the yard to grow in, and I just totally love coming out here then. I would come out here on average at least 2 weekends every single month, and I did that for years. Especially once I got the cabin built here, I came out here at least 2 weekends every single month for probably, let's see here, say, yeah, about 5-6 years. I came out here at least 2 weekends every single month. There were some months I came out here for all 4 weekends in the month. And real quick, I built this cabin here always as plans of it being a workshop. And I planned on having a double doors right here, which I originally did. I had double doors on it, but in the wintertime it was too cold. So I took the double doors off, closed it in, and always had plans of when I turn this back into a workshop to build a ramp down here, put double doors or a garage door on it. That way you can pull your wheeler or snow machine inside, let it thaw out, work on it, do whatever. And I had plans on in the yard here where it slopes down, dig it out, put in a walkout basement and build a nice cabin / home over in this area where the grass is and it slopes down away. Had lots of plans, but as everyone knows, life changes, plans change. And in 2022, well, 2021, I bought my Willow property, and in 2022, in June of 2022, I moved out to that. And since then, I've only been up to this remote property 3 or 4 times a year. And that was just for a weekend at a time. And I think a couple times even I came up for the day or just overnight. So it wasn't even a full weekend. And what I learned after living in Willow is it wasn't so much this property as it was getting out of the city of Anchorage and getting out into the country where I actually love living and love being out in the country. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love this property. But when I was living in Anchorage, I had an extreme desire to get out to this property. Now that I'm living in Willow, I don't have that extreme desire to come up to this property anymore. I still love coming up to this property, but I don't have that extreme desire to come up to the property. So as life has changed for me and things are different now, I've come to the hard conclusion, it's time to sell this property. That's right, I'm putting this property up for sale. And by the time you actually see this, hopefully the property will already have sold. I have a couple people already interested in it, looking at their finances, things like that. So I don't know if this property will still be for sale or not, but I think it'll go quick because it's 10 acres. It's right in the heart of one of the 3 major recreational areas in what's considered South Central Alaska. And it's very desirable. There's approximately 5 acres of good usable land here out of the 10, because there's 2 or 3 acres that is just totally out in the swamps, so that's not usable. And then there's 2 or 3 acres of wooded area, but it's swampy land, but it's wooded, so that's not really usable either. So there's approximately 5 acres of good dry high ground that you can do whatever you want on, and that's very unusual here in this area to have 10 acres with that much good usable land. Almost everyone up in this area that owns land owns 5 acres, and anywhere from 1/4 to half of it is swampy land, if not even more. Sometimes there's a little corner or a small knoll that they'll build on that's high and dry. So having this much good usable land, and this is right in the heart of this recreational area, basically right in the center. It's easy to walk to. You can easily ride a 4-wheeler out here in the summertime. A lot of these properties here in the summertime, it's almost impossible to get to. You have to excuse me, you have to have an Argo, and oftentimes you have to have 2 Argos to even get to them in the summertime. That's how swampy and bad the conditions are to get to some of these properties up here. Here, a 4-wheeler can easily make it out here, no problem, because I'm only a mile off of the road in the summertime, and in the wintertime it's about 3 miles from the parking lot where they maintain the road to. So very easily to get to. The weather up here is usually nice, just absolutely beautiful in the summertime. Rarely hear an airplane. Occasionally you'll have like 1 plane that will fly over, and it's a recreational use airplane, so just a private airplane that someone's out flying around for the day in. Occasionally you'll see some military aircraft fly over. This is one of their training routes, so couple times a year you might see a couple military aircraft fly overhead, but that's it. And that's really about all the aircraft you ever see up in this area. And not even like real high where you can't even hear them. You don't even get that up here. There's a lot of wildlife, as you've seen from my game camera. There's a lot of wildlife that comes onto this property. A couple foxes, moose all the time. There's some other critters that walk through from time to time. And I believe I've even caught a bear kinda on camera once. I can't confirm that, but I know some of my neighbors have game cameras up and have seen bear like across the swamp and stuff. So they are in the area, but I've never personally seen one on this property. Let's see here, what else? Yeah, as much as I don't need to come up to this property, I still love this property with all my heart, and it's going to be sad to sell it and move on from here, but it is time. I'm going to take the money I make off this property and put it on some other property. I can't give you any details right now because it's still up in the air, but make sure you're subscribed so you can see where I'm buying other property at and what I plan on doing with that other property. Definitely make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of that content. So, it is Saturday afternoon right now. I have the cabin pretty much ready to go. I packed up what I'm gonna take out of it. Pretty much everything else is gonna stay that isn't like personal stuff of mine. Well, I guess everything in it, oh, excuse me. I guess everything in it is personal stuff of mine, but I'm leaving like my hand tools, my wrenches, stuff like that. I'm leaving all the cast iron cookware, some bedding. I am taking that futon mattress. I've had it for, oh geez, probably 30 years, and I just love it, so I'm gonna take that. I'm leaving most everything. I'm leaving the TV, the AC unit, all the solar panels and everything. I'm leaving a lot of hand tools like shovels and pickaxes and stuff like that. I'm leaving the generator. So I'm leaving most stuff here. I'm just taking a few things that I really want to keep, but I'm leaving most stuff. So it'll be ready for whoever decides to buy it, the next owners of this place. And I wish them the best. And the nice thing about buying this property is, especially if it's like a family scenario, you have some place to stay while you build your main cabin, and then as their kids get older, there's enough land for them to build their own cabins on it and have like a family compound area here. Since I'm not married, I don't have any kids, the family compound for me really isn't a thing. Never gonna happen at now, so I don't need it for that issue. And also I want to touch on, this is roughly 10 acres. This property that I'm on is roughly 5, and then there's another 5 acres behind you that's I bought just a few years ago from the Matsu Borough. It's the local municipality here. And the reason I bought that is most of that 5 acres is out in the swamp. And the only buildable area is right on the property line, which is high and dry. So I wanted to buy that so no one could build right on my property line. And then also there's a spring on that property that flows year round, and it is more than a garden hose coming up out of the ground. I had that water tested, and that water is better than probably any bottled water you can buy in the grocery store. It is that good of water. So I'm really excited to have that property with that spring on it. Whoever buys this, they can definitely develop that spring, have it local, so they don't have to haul water out from wherever they live out to here. They can just run down to the spring, set their jugs down, and fill up with water once they get it developed. And the other option is they can easily, when they build their permanent cabin, if they want to bring out some trenching equipment, put a trench in and get water right from there right to their cabin. And then have instead of having a dry cabin, or what some people call a damp cabin here in Alaska, they can have a fully functioning cabin with indoor bathrooms and showers and the whole works. So I think that's going to be a big selling feature of this property also. And another one, right off to I guess your left, right up here, you can see Denali, which is Mount McKinley, the tallest mountain on North America. In a straight shot, it's about 60 miles away from where we're sitting right here. And that's directly to the, I guess, yeah, probably directly to the north. I was thinking it might be a little bit west, like northwest, but it's, I'm pretty sure it's directly north here. So another nice thing, you got mountain views of Denali. Really good. So I think that's all I really want to say at the moment. It's definitely going to be sad to leave this property. I love coming out here. I spent tons of weekends out here, and I just absolutely love it. But I think it's time to move on, so I'm going to move on. Thanks everyone, and don't forget, make sure you're subscribed to see what other property I buy here in the near future and what happens with this one. So thanks everyone, and have a great day. I'm all packed up, and just in time, it's starting to rain. So let's get back to the truck. Goodbye, cabin. I love being up here.
Maybe I'm weak, but it took half a year to get over you, over you. Or maybe I'm good at pretending that I moved on. I know that we got a lot of the same friends, and soon enough there come a weekend when we just stop bringing up. Yeah, maybe I'm weak, but it's taking too long to get over you.